In the heart of Kwemala village lived an old man whose breath smelled of rain and could summon a storm, and a boy with chameleon eyes that mirrored the strongest emotion in any crowd, even the ones people buried deep. This is a story of secrets, rituals, and a storm of betrayal that would change us all forever. If you love powerful, true-feeling stories, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and never miss the next episode. I was still a boy when I first met him. The old man's name was Mzivu. No one knew his age. Some swore he'd seen more storms than clear skies. His breath carried the scent of rain, and every time he sighed deeply, thunder would split the sky over Kwemala within hours. "Stay away from him," my mother whispered, her voice tight with fear. "Storms follow his shadow." But I was too curious to listen. The day we spoke, Mzivu's eyes locked on mine like he could read my soul. "Your eyes," he said slowly, "are dangerous." I didn't understand until I leaned over the river and saw my reflection. My irises weren't one color. They shifted, reflecting the strongest emotion in the crowd around me. Fear, anger, desire. Mzivu's voice dropped to a warning. "Guard your gaze, boy. One day it will destroy someone's life, maybe even yours." I laughed nervously, but a cold knot tightened in my chest. Deep down, I knew he wasn't joking. In Kwemala, whispers could kill faster than a spear. After meeting Mzivu, I noticed people watching me differently. At the market, a woman selling cassava froze when my eyes turned red, mirroring the anger she hid from her husband across the road. That night, my uncle pulled me aside, his grip bruising my shoulder. "You need to control it," he said. "Here, secrets are currency. If people think you can see theirs, they'll fear you, and fear turns neighbors into enemies." I tried to hide my gift, but my eyes betrayed me. During a naming ceremony, they turned gold as I caught the chief's wife stealing glances at another man. She noticed. So did the chief. By morning, people avoided me in the street. Even my best friend, Sephu, wouldn't meet my gaze. That's when I realized Mzivu's warning wasn't to protect others. It was to protect me. I started avoiding the market and gatherings, but in Kwemala, hiding is like holding back the tide. One afternoon, Mzivu found me under the mango tree, his rain-scented breath faint under the clear sky. "You think you can run from what's in you?" he asked. "I didn't ask for this," I muttered. "Neither did I," he said. "But power doesn't care about consent, cares about control." He spoke of an old ritual okanmaji that could bind my gift, mute its colors. But it was dangerous and required trust in the one performing it. "Who would do it?" I asked. "Only someone willing to pay the price," Mzivu said, his gaze heavy with meaning. That evening, my aunt, Mama Zira, was waiting at home. Her smile was too warm, her gold earrings glinting in the fading light. "I hear you've been seeing things," she said. "Come to my hut tomorrow night. We'll fix that." Her voice was honey, but her eyes were a storm. I should have trusted the twist in my gut when Mama Zira spoke. Her hut smelled of thick incense, the kind burned only for serious rituals. A clay bowl sat in the center, filled with dark water that swallowed the lamplight. She motioned for me to kneel. "Look into it," she said. First I saw nothing. Then shapes swirled. Faces I knew, their mouths moving in silence. My eyes shifted colors so fast they ached. Mama Zira's voice softened. "This will lift your burden, but you must give me something in return." "What?" I whispered. "Your trust and your silence." Before I could answer, she pressed her hand on my neck and shoved my face toward the water. The cold hit like a slap, stealing my breath. In the darkness, a voice rumbled, deep as thunder. "Do not let her bind you." I tore away, gasping. Mama Zira's warm smile was gone, replaced by something sharp and hungry. "You'll come back," she said. Soon you won't have a choice. Days later, her shadow seemed to stretch across the village. Children stopped playing near me. Sephew crossed the street to avoid me. Whispers followed me like flies. One evening, Mzivu appeared at my doorway, the scent of rain clinging to him despite the dry air. "She's been speaking to the elders," he said, "telling them your eyes are cursed, that you see what no one should." "Why?" I asked, dread pooling in my chest. "Fear and greed walk hand in hand," he replied. "If she convinces them, they'll let her purge you." My breath caught. Purge me? The Okanmaji ritual can bind your gift or strip your spirit. Thunder rumbled in the distance, sudden and heavy. Mzivu's eyes narrowed. "That's not my storm." The storm hit fast, swallowing the horizon in bruised clouds. It didn't feel like Mzivu's. His storms carried a heaviness, like a held breath. This one felt wrong, jagged. Rain hammered the roofs, turning paths to rivers. Through the downpour, I saw Mama Zira in the square, head tilted back, lips moving in a chant I didn't know. Her hands were stained dark. Blood. The elders surrounded her, nodding as if they already understood. I stepped forward, but Mzivu's hand stopped me. "That's not a storm you walk into." Lightning flashed, and for a moment, I swore I saw a tall, faceless shape behind her. The thunder that followed sounded like laughter. By morning, the rain was gone, but mud clung to every path. "Mama Haipu." Mama Zira gathered the villagers in the square, her crimson wrapper vivid against the damp earth. The elders sat in a half-circle, their stools sinking into the mud. She pointed at me. "This boy brought the curse to our village. His eyes call storms that ruin our harvest." "That storm wasn't mine," I began. "Lies," she snapped. "Last night, the river rose and flooded the yam fields. We saw your colors change at the festival. You carry ill will in your gaze." Murmurs spread like fire. People I'd known my whole life turned away. An elder stood. "By the next moon, we decide his fate." Mzivu stepped forward, rain-scented air swirling around him. "If you punish the boy for what you don't understand, you'll invite a storm greater than any sky can hold." Mama Zira's smile was cold, victorious. That night, I slipped into Mzivu's hut for answers, maybe a plan to flee. But the woven mat at his door was torn, trampled in the mud. Inside, the fire pit was cold, the walls streaked with ash. "Mzivu," I called. A groan came from the corner. He was slumped against the wall, his left arm limp, the rain scent faint. "They came," he rasped. "3 of them, faces covered. But I knew one by his voice." "Who?" I pressed. "Sephew." The name struck like a blow. My childhood friend turned against me. "Why?" I asked. "Zira's hands are long," Mzivu said. "She's weaving more than one net. Be careful which ropes you cut. They might be holding you up." Footsteps squelched outside. Slow. Deliberate. I froze. A shadow stretched across the doorway. Mzivu gestured to a loose panel in the back wall. I slipped through, the wood scraping my shoulders, and hid in the thicket. It was Adaora, Mama Zira's quiet niece, clutching a calabash. She stepped inside. "Where is he?" she asked Mzivu, her voice calm. "Gone," he said. She tilted her head. "Auntie says the boy's gift will rot the village. If you protect him, you're part of the rot." Mzivu didn't flinch. "Tell your aunt the only thing rotting is her heart." Adaora smiled faintly, setting the calabash down. She unrolled a strip of red cloth inside it. "My hair from the night Zira brushed my head at the festival. She says once this burns in the ritual fire, your storms will be hers. Permanently," Adaora said. Mzivu's jaw tightened. "She doesn't know the storm she's calling." Adaora's eyes flicked toward my hiding place. I held my breath. She tied the calabash shut, whispered, "He's closer than you think," and left. I slipped back inside. Mzivu was struggling to stand. "She's taking it to Zira tonight," I said. "We have to stop her." "No," he said. "Let her think she's ahead. There's a counter-ritual, but it needs you, me, and the storm." My stomach churned. "Your storm. Ours. Together." He handed me a carved horn. "When the chanting begins, blow this. Don't hesitate, no matter what you see." Outside, a drum began to beat. Slow, heavy, ominous. I crept through the shadows, the horn hidden under my tunic. Torchlight flickered near the yam fields. Villagers stood in a circle, watching Mama Zira in her crimson wrapper, her hair braided with cowrie shells. Edaora stood beside her, holding the calabash. A fire roared, its flames bending toward Zira. She raised my hair. "Tonight, Kwemala will be cleansed." Sephew stood behind her, spear in hand, his eyes cold as they met mine. The chanting deepened. My fingers gripped the horn. Zira lowered my hair toward the black flames. My heart pounded. A hand clamped over my mouth, yanking me back. I thought it was Sephew, but it was Edaora, her face pale. "Don't," she hissed. "If you call the storm now, it'll kill more than her." "What?" I whispered. "She's binding the village to something else. If the storm breaks wrong, we all burn." Zira's chant peaked. The flames turned black. "Why help me?" I asked. Edaora's jaw tightened. "I'm helping Kwemala." A roar tore through the sky. Wind scattered sparks. Mzivu stepped into the square, rain beating on his skin. Zira tipped my hair into the fire. The flames flared, reaching for the stars. Edaora's grip tightened. One breath, no second chance. Mzivu's voice cut through. "Choose, boy. Now." I blew the horn. The horn's cry pierced the square, sharp and mournful. Clouds boiled, lightning turning night to day. Rain fell like shattering glass, dousing the black flames. Zira screamed, her wrapper like torn wings. Edaora kicked the calabash into the mud, spilling my hair and a shriveled hand. Gasps echoed. Mzivu's voice rose. "This is what she's bound you to, not just him. All of you." Sephew dropped his spear, horrified. The crowd broke, backing away from Zira. Lightning split the fire pit, scattering sparks. Zira fled into the dark, the storm chasing her. Only Mzivu, Edaora, and I remained. Edaora's eyes were green with relief and warning. "She'll be back." I nodded. "So will we." But the story didn't end there. Days later, the village was quiet, but the air felt heavy, like a storm waiting to break. I couldn't shake the image of that shriveled hand. Whose was it? And why did Edaora turn on her aunt? I found her by the river, washing clothes in the shallows. Her hands moved slowly, deliberately, as if she knew I was there. "You knew about the hand," I said. She didn't look up. "I knew enough." "Then why give her my hair?" Her hands stilled. "To get close, to see what she was really doing." I frowned. "You could have warned me. And risk her finding out?" Edaora stood, water dripping from her hands. "Zira's not just greedy. She's desperate. That hand, it belonged to her son." My breath caught. "Her son." Edaora's voice was low. "He died years ago, before you were born. A ritual went wrong. She's been trying to bring him back ever since. Your gift," she thought it could fuel the spell. The weight of her words sank in. "And the village?" "Collateral," she said. "She'd burn Kwemala to get him back." I stared at the river, my eyes shifting to gray, the color of grief. "Why didn't you tell Mzivu?" Edaora's gaze hardened. "Because he'd stop me." "Stop you from what?" She pulled a small pouch from her waistband. Inside was a single cowrie shell, etched with a symbol I didn't recognize. This is the real counter-ritual. Not Mzivu's storm. This breaks her hold for good. Why not use it? I asked. It needs blood, she said. Hers. The air grew colder. You're going after her. Edora nodded. Alone. If you come, your eyes will give me away. Before I could argue, she slipped into the trees, silent as a shadow. That night, I lay awake, the horn heavy in my hand. Mzivu's words echoed, "Be careful which ropes you cut." Edora was a rope I hadn't expected, and I didn't know if she was holding me up or tying me down. The next morning, Sephew found me. His face was hollow, his spear gone. "I didn't know," he said. "Zira. She promised to protect my family." I wanted to hate him, but my eyes turned blue. Forgiveness, unasked for. "Help me find her," I said. He hesitated, then nodded. We tracked Zira to the edge of the village, where the forest grew thick. The air smelled of rot, not rain. A faint chant hummed through the trees. Sephew grabbed my arm. "That's not Zira." He was right. The voice was younger, sharper. "Edora." We crept closer. She knelt before a small fire, the cowrie shell in one hand, a knife in the other. Blood dripped from her palm. "Edora," I called. She spun, eyes wild. "Stay back. It's almost done." The fire flared green. A shape flickered in the flames. Not a hand, but a face. A boy no older than me. The chant stopped. Edora's knife clattered to the ground. The face vanished. She fell to her knees, sobbing. It wasn't enough. Sephew and I carried her back to the village. No one spoke of Zira again, but her shadow lingered. Weeks later, Mzivu taught me to control my eyes, to dim their colors. But every night, I dreamed of that face in the fire and Adora's words. She'll be back. Power without compassion turns gifts into weapons. And sometimes the storm you fear most is the one you carry inside. If this story struck your heart, hit that like button. It helps others find it. Thank you for watching, and may your day be calm. Unless you need a storm.